Welcome,
Hey,
everybody, to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 151. I am here, that's right, me!
Oh, it's him.
But what is my name?
I don't remember.
It will go unsaid.
Usain Bolt.
There's also the hero here.
Yes, I am from Dragon Quest. I have been imported here from Japan.
Yes!
Welcome.
They
Everyone
had-
is here.
They had to pay more money so that I can sync up the place.
Oh. As well as the colorful one.
Hello there.
Yes, it's really only one color, but it's a bright color.
It is a bright color indeed.
Piss yellow.
Yes, that one.
The name of Pink's evil clone is like what would that be? Yellow sprinkle fart? Like what is it?
I mean, we already know Benedict Cumberbatch.
The evil opposite to Addie is just Genghis the villain. I've already got my evil clone. He needs to go away.
You already are the evil clone.
Yeah, that's the thing. You guys get it externally. I'm like Ryu or like I don't know, Wolverine. Sometimes the bad side is just there, and we have a battle inside the mind, and there's like anime bullshit. It's great.
Exciting.
I don't know why, but he spread a lot of Nazi propaganda one time. That was weird. Anyways,
what if you had to find your evil self, but it was written by Kishimoto?
oh,
All
right. So, Pink, anything coming out on your channel?
Nope.
Addie.
Nothing.
Okay, I don't know when. Me and Mike have been pitching back and forth about doing some recordings together. And initially the talk was The Forest, because I did pick him up a copy on PC. But two things happened. Firstly, we noticed, for some fucking reason, Goku bought a copy of The Forest on Steam. Without either of us telling him to, he just picked up a copy of The Forest on Steam and started playing it himself. I guess he just liked the game.
I guess.
Fair enough, by all means, but as soon as Mike saw that, Mike was like, well, obviously we gotta get him in there. And we also ran into the prospect of Mike was like, wait, we can play other games too! So it immediately became like, oh, but what if we do The Forest? What if we do The Forest instead of The Forest?
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
What if we do Mortal Kombat 9? What if we do Guilty Gear XX? What if we do, well, the newest one is he just found a mod someone made for Dead Rising that randomizes all the items. And it looks, bullshit. Because if you guys know Dead Rising, there's an array of conventional items available to you in the mall. Baseball bats, skateboards, toy swords, usual things. And the randomizer can flip things around so the stupid wacky weapons are in unusual places. And the randomizer also changes the nature of some items. It can flip how some items work. I don't know exactly how it works. All I saw is the trailer for the mod. At some point, Frank picks up a bowling ball and eats it to regain health.
Cool.
Nice.
And Mike saw that and he was immediately like, okay, well, we gotta fucking record that. So, I don't know when it'll happen. Because, schedules are, messed up and Mike has a very busy life. But at some point, there will definitely be content coming out on my channel and his of either of us doing something. The videos released on my channel will get maybe 1 or 2 views. The videos released on his will get 70. Whatever, 70 people are listening to my voice. That's good enough.
The prospect of someone making a mod for Dead Rising 2 where all of the items are replaced by Antoine sounds interesting.
What is it, like fucking Yakuza Kiwami fucking Majima?
Yes, onto one everywhere.
The Antoine Everywhere system. Like, what,
Antoine will make
do you go to...
Antoine now offers takeout.
You go, the Antoine delivery system.
Yes.
You go up to a zombie and you punch the zombie in the face. The zombie just takes off its mask. It's Antoine underneath, and he just goes, Chakrin-chan! Oh, for fuck's sakes. You go to give Zombrex to your daughter, and she looks up, and it's just Antoine in a wig.
Yes. No, even better. You go to give your daughter Zombrex, but the Zombrex is Antoine.
Oh no!
They said that they were putting microchips in the vaccines, but they were wrong. Instead, they were putting incredibly deadly French chefs. Boy, if you were having trouble figuring out how the fuck a microchip fits in a syringe, try and figure this shit out. Oh, boy. Alright. Let me check.
They used the spell from Dragon Ball. Look him inside the syringe.
God damn it. Alright, what's coming out on the channel this week? Let's see. So, on Monday, Don't Starve Together, Part 3. On Friday, Gary's Mod Dicking Around, Part 4. On Saturday, we try and fail to draw Theroin de Mericourt from the Assassin's Creed Unity. Yes, we are aware she's a real person, but none of us know about her. So instead we went off a video game version of her because we are fucking Philistines. Alright. Pink, what you been up to this past week, man?
Not a lot this week. Some reason though, I've been doing a lot of fighting games. I actually played some more Guilty Gear of my own volition.
Alright.
I'm terrible at the game. I've lost to the computer every single time. I'm not sure how I ever got a win over any of you guys during our session.
Oh, the AI in Guilty Gear is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, Pink, take the AI down to beginner.
I did. Yeah, I did that.
I play on beginner as well. I'm not used to the accent course inputs yet. So until I get familiar enough with them, I won't put the freaking difficulty up because I mean I have a hard enough time beating the AI on this difficulty already with my freaking dirty inputs. So normal or higher, like maniac boss, scares me. The concept, not even the character, just the concept that exists.
Oh god, I was looking over the Steam achievements list for Guilty Gear XX, and I was like, oh boy, I'm not fucking doing that. Because one of the achievements is beat arcade mode on Maniac. No! Another achievement is win 100 ranked matches. I hate to spoil your fun, Arxis, but most people play Arxis fighting games in a lobby.
Yeah. The ranked matches I don't think will happen for me either. I might be able to win Maniac or Arcade or Maniac eventually, in like 5 years maybe, because I am able to semi-consistently beat the Exert AI on Maniac with 5 rounds, so... But still, like, Exert is a lot easier execution-wise, so...
It's also just a thing of, like, what you play against the AI for is, fun in the way that you do it. But, like, when you're someone who looks at fighting games for, like, psychology and stuff, like, especially me playing Slayer so much, like, it just doesn't work,
I mean, when I play Slayer against the AI, I just do it to stun on them, so...
Like, yeah, the Slayer's got enough, like, get in their face and just punch them in the face. But, like, that's not the way I play Slayer.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's the problem I've always had with fighting game AI. What was I going to say? Guilty Gear XX is a fantastic fucking fighting game. But it is also kind of a fighting game that's built upon the expectation that humans are flawed beings. Because if an AI, like, there's always that problem with fighting games, and if an AI wants to kick your ass, you will just have no chance.
Right.
And Guilty Gear is hardcore on that. Now, Addy has just said that he has beaten Maniac, which I absolutely believe him.
In Exert, that's a difference.
There is a difference there. Yes, there is a difference there. Because Exard is a good bit simplified from XX. And obviously several characters lost big moves. But what was I going to say? Like, it's a problem that I always find in fighting games. You know, it's the... Fuck. I feel like I'm just repeating myself here. I don't know. Somebody else say something stupid.
I think Cliff is the best character.
Cliff is a lot of
Old
fun.
man with the sword.
Yeah, a lot of people like Cliff. I think Cliff is too much of a joke character for me to like him, but I mean, I don't. If they pull freaking time bullshit again with like Axel or Eno and bring him back in Strive, I won't complain. Like,
Why would you say he's a joke character?
because of his back giving up mechanic.
Oh, that's there just as a nerf for. They had to implement that mechanic to make him tournament viable.
Ah, okay, that explains things then.
He would have been too powerful if he had a young back.
Oh no, Pink, you don't understand. Prior to the version that we are playing, Cliff did not have the mechanic where he gets tired after some moves.
Oh.
So he just fucking wrecked you.
Oh, man. How do I play as that version?
Yeah. You can, actually. If you beat all the missions in mission mode, just turn the AI to dumb shit beginner, and it'll allow you to play like Guilty Gear 1 Cliff, I think.
Oh. Then I'll really wreck the AI.
Yeah. Oh boy. Justice is along similar lines, by the way. She also was only made tournament viable in the one we're playing right now. Because back in the day, she used to be able to dash, and they just got rid of that to make her viable. And she is a scary fucking character. I don't know, have either of you guys have any of you guys played Justice, just for a little bit?
I have not.
I have not played Justice, but I have fought Justice multiple times in the first Guilty Gear because I own it. And yes...
Oh my god.
Justice has been nerfed so hard, and it's understandable because Pink, like for example, you know the move where she does the slice with the fingernail and the animation plays full screen, but it doesn't actually reach.
I think so.
So from what I remember, the last time I fought her in the original Guilty Gear, yeah, that was actually full screen. You just had to block it or just not be in the way. If you were in the way and tried doing anything that wasn't blocking, then you died. Well, you didn't die, but you still got hit with like a freaking 15% hit.
Right.
It was stupid.
She still has that. It's just a super now.
I mean that's still a lot better.
Yeah, a lot better. It's funny how some simple changes can make a character actually tournament playable. Like, all they had to do was remove dashing. Oh shit, now she's terrible on offense and she's pretty well a zoner. Fun stuff. Alright, so Cliff is the one that you're feeling that you really enjoy, Pink.
Yeah. He's the only one I've been able to get a win over on anyone with. I really liked, what's her face? I don't know, Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. Hang on. I'm going
like Manila or something.
Milia Rage. Yes, Milia Rage, I see. She's a lot of fun, but she's a very weird character, that's for certain.
Yeah, she is.
Like,
there's like a backward Hadoken input that you do to make an energy ball. And then if you keep doing that input, you can control the ball's movements.
Yeah, you can tell it to like take 3 commands ahead of time.
Yeah. It's freaking weird, yo.
Yeah, that's what you use it for set play. So the idea behind that would be that you tell it to go in a certain pattern, and then you just know which pattern you input, so that you can kick people into it.
I've not put much time into Milia, but my understanding is she is a character who is entirely focused around knocking the opponent down, and hoping you can knock him down again afterwards.
I have not put much time into Milia. I have put much time into getting beaten by Milia. Holy shit, do I hate her? Not her AI, but still, like Milia Rage. Once she gets the freaking the ball rolling, you're gonna have a hard time making it stop.
Yes. But she's also one of those characters who relies on getting the ball rolling, and if she doesn't get, like, she has a hard time getting the ball rolling, you know?
Yeah.
As compared to, like, Slayer just doesn't have very good combo tools, so he doesn't cash out much reward when he does win, but he'll win a lot more than everybody else, you know? So it's just kind of different things of, like, do you want to put time into learning combos, or do you want to just put time into predicting your opponent and outmaneuvering him, you know?
Right.
Guilty Gear XX is a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of Guilty Gear, I started tinkering away with Mugen once again.
Oh boy, yeah, Mugen has gotten a lot easier ever since the Mugen archive became a lot better.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's a site I use.
Okay. I'll have to start using it.
Yeah, trawling the forums is a dangerous game to play. Like, hang on, let me pull up the here we go. It has a download limit per day just to try and prevent oh, and it's got all this security stuff to try and prevent people from, like, fucking DDoSing them, but oh Christ, I gotta do a fucking CAPTCHA! Oh no!
Are you a robot, Alex?
I might be!
Oh no.
Hang on, is that a train or is that a bus?
Yes.
Oh no. The age-old question.
It's a tram.
Oh no!
The answer is yes.
Wait, I might not be a robot! I'm not a
Are you sure?
robot!
Yeah!
Yeah.
Congratulations on being a human. How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Alright.
Not as good if I were an immortal machine made of tin, though. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet. But then they wouldn't have let you access the site. And at the end of the day, what really matters?
No. Immortality isn't worth it if I can't play Mugen. Oh boy. Alright. So, with Mugen, what do you compile your Mugen roster of, Pink?
It's all superheroes.
Alright, fair enough.
Superheroes. I'll probably throw in, like, Cammy and Sea Viper as well, but that's about it.
Sadly, Sea Viper is so new she doesn't have sprites.
No!
She came too late, I'm afraid.
Oh, how unfortunate for me. And the rest of the fighting game community.
Yeah. I mean, there were one or two characters from Street Fighter 4 that people loved so much they made sprites. Like, I'm pretty sure if you look for it, you can find a Jury sprite on there. But, you know, Jury is a case of horny people can do anything if they stick their minds to it.
Yeah, Jury has that big feet appeal.
Oh, God.
As to what now?
Is she big with the foot fetish community?
I mean, I don't know. She's basically bare feet, so I'm assuming.
If she's not wearing shoes, that's a given.
She's wearing those,
leave
like...
that alone. Put that in the corner and don't touch it again.
Well, in that case, the foot fetish community's been sleeping on Ryu because he hasn't wore shoes in fucking 5 games.
You make a valid point.
The foot fetish community is sleeping on Ryu because he has calluses.
For fuck's sake. Are calluses the foot fetish equivalent of, like... Oh, I was about to say an STD, but that's just tetanus.
No. No, the foot fetish equivalent of the foot fetish equivalent of an STD would be like freaking like fungus, foot fungus.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay,
Admin speed.
With Mugen, Pink, do you have the best Marvel character from Marvel vs. Capcom? Do you have Shumagorath?
No, but he's on my list.
Ha! Oh man. I have to assume that when you make a superhero roster, it's mostly Marvel characters, and also here's some DC characters that are palette swaps of Marvel characters.
Also, here's Power Girl, and that's it.
Yeah.
Also, Kamen Rider.
I mean, Power Girl herself would probably be just a heavily edited version of Storm.
No, there's a legit Power Girl. I'll send you a screenshot because it's very NSFW.
Huh. Oh, okay, I see.
But Power Girl changed her name to Porn Girl.
No.
She's setting up her OnlyFans right now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I remember back in the day, there's a really good Superman and a really good Batman I downloaded, and I was like, oh man, these characters play really well. It's weird. It's like they were almost made by Capcom themselves. It's really high quality. I looked at the sprites again, and I was like, motherfucker, they are just sprite swaps of Magneto and Cyclops. You will find so many sprite swaps of Magneto and Cyclops because it is just so easy to make them for big muscular dudes who are either flying or non-flying.
Right.
There was definitely a sprite swap of Cable to turn him into Bishop, and I was like, oh boy, as if those characters weren't similar enough already.
That's actually kind of genius. I need that now.
Yeah. Oh, it played really well. Bishop had a unique subsystem where you need to keep track of energy that he has or something, because isn't Bishop's superpower like he can absorb not like Sebastian Shaw, but like he can absorb energy and project it back out. Okay.
Yep.
And he had like a whole subsystem where he had several moves that were dependent on that and got stronger the more energy he had. Or you could just use guns, which didn't rely on the subsystem, but were weaker than the strongest version of the subsystem, right?
Right.
Do you want to ignore this mechanic or actually play around it? People working on Mugen stuff can have some really fun ideas. There's some high quality sprites that have been made exclusively for Mugen. There's one guy who was working on he named it something stupid like Capcom versus whatever, which does not imply high quality work, and yet he made really high quality sprites of Rorschach, Mr. X, and CM Punk.
What?
Yeah. And they're actually really enjoyable, fun to play fighting game characters. Rorschach is awesome. Like, he does all the moves from the comic.
That's incredible.
Even the fucking cleaver knife. Better watch out, Galford. That Pupperino's getting put down. Oh, man. I remember my favorite part was his Rorschach's big level 3 super, because it was very Marvel vs. Capcom. His big level 3 super was he just takes them into a warehouse. You hear him say, like, who killed Edward Blake? And it just cuts away as, beat down ensues, right?
Right.
His taunt was him just writing it down in the notebook and going, "Huh."
I love it.
Oh, man. I'm surprised Addy hasn't had anything to say about this.
Do you move out, Addy?
Yeah, but I mostly try to keep a consistent roster of here's Guilty Gear and freaking Buster Cross. Also, here's Akuma and Rugal. I guess here's some JoJo.
Addy picks his favorites.
Yeah.
I just take everyone.
With limited download per day and stuff like that. I just couldn't be arsed to actually have everyone. Although when I tried getting like people from a game, I tried to get everyone from the game, so I have the roster of Accent Core, and also some people from Isuka. Like, I think I have Leopardon and Judgment.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So, I tried to have a complete Guilty Gear 2D Guilty Gear roster. I have everyone from Basara Cross. I have a good couple of people from Heritage from the future, but a lot of them are not on the archives. So I literally couldn't download all of those people because, I mean, technically I could download everyone who's on there, but then I would just have like 12 Kakyoins, and not really useful. No. I also wanted to add in a couple of Persona Ultimax and BlazBlue characters, but they broke the game.
Yes.
So they're just in the corner.
It's the thing is that they actually ported over Persona and BlazBlue characters faithfully, and Persona and BlazBlue characters, the sprites themselves are not that high quality, but like the explosion sprites are stupid high quality, and the Mugen engine can handle it. But they didn't make it where it can run properly on low-end PCs. My PC can take it, but my PC can take games that are like massively bigger than Mugen, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't think there was much work put into optimizing when they moved that stuff over, whereas BlazBlue itself probably would have actually tried to make it where they can run on PCs. I imagine their hands were kind of forced.
And then for SNK, I have like 3 versions of Rugal.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 versions of Rugal. I have Normal and Omega. And then I have 3 Kim Coppans, because I also wanted KOF13, who also breaks the game. So I got lucky with that. Oh, I also have Kim's Kids, and that's all the SNK representation. And then I think I had like 4 Akumas because I wanted CVS, Third Strike, and Rare Akuma. If I found a way to make it so Rare Akuma can only be triggered as a boss character, I would, because that would be a fun thing. But I can't, so Rare Akuma just shows up in random arcade runs and then kills me.
No, you can set him up as the boss.
No, I know it's a possibility, I just don't know how.
Oh, it's actually something real simple, I think. I think it is just, like, put a comma after his entry in Notepad, a space, and then there are 10 matches in every arcade mode. So just throw out a number, I think, and that's the number that they get put. So for final bosses, throw them out, put them as 10. Oh, excuse me.
I might look into that, but yeah, I've mostly abandoned my Mugen thing because I was like, well, I'm having fun with these characters, but most of the roster I have downloaded are characters that I can play officially, and they are better balanced there. So, like, really, the only thing I'm really missing out on are the CVS2 characters and the Basara Cross characters, because CVS2 is on PlayStation 2, and Basara Cross is on PlayStation 2 and also only in Japan. So...
Please port forward more games onto Steam with rollback.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, just port forward games with rollback on anything.
Yeah.
Because like,
I would like port forward this game that came out 2 years ago with rollback.
Yeah. Please port. Please port forward WWE 2K20 with rollback.
Oh boy.
Oh no, not that one.
It would be better, at least. Not good, but better.
Oh, man. What was I going to say? Oh, man, did you see that series of collected tweets from Japanese Twitters saying, like, stuff like...
Yeah, what? Some of them weren't even Japanese. They just posted in Japanese.
Yeah. And it was, one of them was... this one shocked me, because I assumed Japan had, better capability to put up with delay-based netcode than we did. But one of them was just saying, holy shit, I can now actually play with people who are in Osaka now, and I live in Tokyo. And I was like, that was a problem before? I think one of them straight up said, how come the Westerners never told us about this? Which, Pink, for you haven't been paying attention to this, I assume. But there have been a lot of Westerners who have been evangelizing rollback-based netcode very, very hard.
I had no idea.
But there's also a distinction to be made, because the thing we call rollback netcode isn't actually rollback. It's a mixture of both rollback and delay based,
Oh yeah,
which is what GGPO is.
Variable delay rollback netcode.
Yeah,
GGPO.
because just rollback netcode is not good. just rollback netcode is like only
Street Fighter
slightly
5.
better. Yeah, like just rollback netcode on its own is only slightly better than delay based, if at all, depending on how it's actually implemented into the game. So.
Oh.
3 frames, baby. 3!
Street Fighter 5 is 3.
Can we make 3 the fighting game equivalent of jab?
But here's the thing with that. So remember how I said that I heard it, or freaking read this detailed analysis of why rollback didn't work or doesn't work with Tekken that well, even though it does have it. So Tekken apparently needs more frames to roll back to than what is usually enough, because rollback usually by any fighting game is only at 3 frames, but because of, accordingly to that person, which who knows whether it's true or not, but according to that person, like remembering and predicting shit like 3 frames, even just 3 frames of it, is too much for the processors of current gen consoles. And 3 frames is not enough. We need at least a 6 frame window, which is what they are supposed to be patching in like 3 days.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish.
I was just going to say 2 days after this comes out.
It'll definitely be interesting to see if PS5 and Xbox Series X will have updated versions of Tekken 7 that have 6 frames instead.
I mean, every version will have 6 frames instead. That's the new patch that's releasing 3 days from now.
Oh, I thought the PS4 couldn't handle that.
Me too, but they said that they would be increasing the frames, the rollback frames to 6 frames. So who knows?
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, what I remember was Harada did say something about that during the developers roundtable, didn't he? He was like saying we need to improve the netcode, especially during COVID, but the technology isn't there yet.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I assume he was just speaking for his own case there, because the 2D fighting guys would be like, fucking what?
Yeah, with 2D fighting games, it's easier because there's already like animations being cut off and shit. But with fluid 3D animation like Mortal Kombat or Tekken, even more so, or like Soul Calibur, it doesn't work as easily because shit just snapping into place looks bad.
Mortal Kombat does have rollback.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying more so with Tekken and Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Mortal Kombat shares enough 2D stuff for it to not be an issue, or as much of an issue.
Yeah, and it helps that like Mortal Kombat and Injustice, like both after Injustice 1, were designed from the ground up with rollback in mind.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of the NetherRealm fighting games, I wanted to bring this up. I brought it up the other day, but they announced during the Molina Combat Cast that they are going to be getting rid of the current system. So the system in the game right now is you get to make 5 custom variations for every character, and you get to set up to 3 custom moves. However, if you're going to tournament or you're playing ranked online, there are only 3 pre-made tournament variations. Which means that a lot of the custom moves just aren't being used, and like the combinations of certain custom moves being used in conjunction is impossible at the ranked and tournament level. And this is a problem that Injustice 2 had as well. But it was actually worse than Injustice 2, because Pink, you remember the custom moves just straight up weren't an option if you were playing with tournament variations on.
Yeah.
Or in ranked mode. And unlike Mortal Kombat 11, you had to unlock the custom moves.
Yeah.
Like,
There's still several dozen moves that I have not unlocked.
like fucking how long did it take you to unlock Nightwing being able to swapping out Nightwing's sword for his staff?
I still don't have that.
Oh.
It makes me mad.
Okay. So, custom moves are now going to be a thing that you just pick before the match. Which, for one thing, means, like, oh, now they're going to actually be balanced. You remember in Injustice 2 how some characters were trash unless they had on custom moves?
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to be a problem anymore. You just pick the custom moves. Do it. And now people are going to have to experiment with all kinds of bullshit variations and mixing these custom moves. And I think this is really smart on NetherRealm's part, because a big problem with Mortal Kombat 11 is that there is a severe lack of expression through character, which is something I've complained about a lot here. And I think this is one way that they can easily fix that without having to fundamentally change every character.
Right.
And honestly, it's just wacky. Like, Addy, do you remember how console ports of Capcom vs. SNK 2 allowed you to make your own custom ism, picking whichever features from the other isms that you wanted?
Yeah, I never used it because I found the point, like, I found the pointing to be way too restrictive, but yeah.
Yeah, and I never used it because it's like golden variations in Guilty Gear. Like, oh, great, a bullshit cheese character who I'll never use against anyone actually. But the idea of, like, custom isms just being a thing at tournament is going to... Like, I assume they're going to make it just where you pick a character and then you fill each of the 3 slots, right? And, Pink, correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't Smash Bros. 4 have a similar system? Where every character had several moves that they could swap in, several special moves they could choose to replace the special moves that are there by default.
We lost him.
Oh no. Alright, Pink, we can't hear you, buddy. I'm sorry.
So,
Alright.
Okay, we can hear you. Did Smash Bros. 4 have that system?
No, it did not. I at least I don't think it did.
Did you play Smash 4?
Yeah. I don't recall how custom moves work because I never used them. I know they didn't return in Smash Ultimate. That's all I know about custom
Yeah.
moves.
Huh, alright. So this is a very interesting change. And between that and Melina getting added, it is enough for me to seriously be looking at getting back into Mortal Kombat 11.
Melina wasn't already in the game?
No.
Oh boy, Pink, you don't want to know. There has been a horny brigade real bad there. Ed Boon logs into Twitter every morning to see thousands of people. Melina win!
Ed Boon,
And
Ed
then he
Boon
logs
logs,
right back out of Twitter.
Yeah.
Ed Boon logs into Twitter in the morning to see when's Marvel. Marvel.
When's Marvel?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Ed Boon announces tomorrow's is Capcom 4. I don't know why that's funny that he would be the one to make it.
Ha! Hang on. Aren't we supposed to be talking about something Pink said?
Yeah, Mugen.
Mugen,
Yeah.
right. God damn it. So who's your favorite character you've downloaded so far, Pink?
So far, probably a bland answer of Spider-Man.
Ha! There's some good Spider-Mans that are rolling around, though.
Yeah, it's like the one I've got is not the one ripped from all the versus Capcom or Marvel Superheroes arcade. It's very unique and it's very enjoyable. He actually has a web fluid mechanic where he can actually run out of webbing.
Oh, I've played that one, yeah.
Yeah. It's friggin' sweet.
He does still use the Marvel vs. Capcom sprites, though, right?
Yes. He's
Right.
just got a lot of different edited moves.
Yes, and because he has the web fluid mechanic, that means he has moves that are actually non-web based, right?
Oh boy.
It's happening!
All right.
What is up today?
I don't know. Anyway, yes, I don't know where you lost me because I wasn't looking at the Discord. But yeah. Web fluid mechanic, solid. Using non-web moves when you run out of moves, solid. Though the way I phrase that makes it sound like he has substitute systems or animations for when he runs out of web fluid. That is not the case. He runs out of web fluid. If you try to shoot his web bullets, then he'll kind of point out to you the fact that, hey, I don't have web fluid left.
You know, I think I also played that one. Although for me, for whatever reason, the nameplate and the character art seemed to like the nameplate says Omega Tiger Woods, and it's a Tiger Woods that's in rainbow colors.
I'm confused.
You should be.
Remember Tiger Woods?
No.
Yeah, that was a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little fall from grace there.
I mean, if you want to talk about like freaking Mugen characters being really old, the newest version, I think I have like one of the newest versions of Rare Akuma, and this version of Rare Akuma features the troll face.
Oh.
So.
Oh no.
You wanna speak old?
From back in the day when the top Mugen fighters were Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin.
Yeah. Straight from the ghettos of 2007.
Yeah. Oh man, did anyone
That was
ever
probably
see
when
that?
Tiger Woods was last relevant.
Yeah. Did anyone ever see that Peter Griffin someone made that had 11 different super moves?
I think so.
He
But
even
I
had
can never be sure.
He even had a fucking dragon install. Nothing will ever be better to me than Evil Homer having the moveset of Evil Ryu.
By dragon install, you mean Griffin install.
Yeah. No, I mean chicken install, dumbass.
No, that would be the evil chickens move.
Oh, damn it.
Because that was also a character.
How about the one someone made as a joke? This just, like, they named it N Bison, like, as in A-N. Just a bison. A bison. And it's wearing M. Bison's hat, but other than that, it's just a normal bison.
Those were the best. Like that of Funko falling father figures.
Oh, that's my favorite.
The freaking shark.
It's always wacky when people make up the fucking weird mini games.
Yeah.
I saw someone make a character that was labeled just Resident Evil, and it's just summoning Resident Evil monsters like zombies and crows and hunters.
Nice.
Or I think one was Alien Queen, and she was an unplayable boss, but she would summon lots of aliens on screen, and it was a beat-em-up pretty well.
I mean, it probably was ripped from the Alien versus Predator beat 'em up.
Oh yeah, there's tons of stuff ripped from the Aliens versus Predator beat-em-up.
Yeah, that's the only good thing to come out of that movie.
Yeah.
Or arguably either of those franchises in the past 20 years.
Yeah. No, Alien Isolation was great.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The Alien versus Predator the Alien versus Predator first-person shooters. The original ones back in the late 90s, early 2000s were really good. The one that came out in 2010 was eh. There's also the really weird RTS that got released for PlayStation 2 that I really enjoyed, but it had a controversial critical response. Alien vs. Predator Extinction, I think was the name. And that one was a really interesting one because they had a lot of really interesting systems for the aliens and the predators. Like, the aliens had their full, like, ecosystem. in order to make new aliens, like you didn't order aliens at like the alien factory. You had to fucking go and abduct an animal or abduct a human, drag him all the way back to the queen, get an egg to lay a face hugger, get the face hugger onto the guy to chest burst him.
Nice.
Yeah,
That sounds complicated.
Yeah, I think the game outright tells you from the beginning, do not play the aliens first. Like, I think that even the humans weren't the beginner faction in that game. It was the Predators, because the Predators make money by killing, so just do what you would do anyways.
Yeah. Works out.
That game was fun, but it's one of those games I haven't played in like 13 years. So there's a distinct chance it's actually crappier than I remember. I've tried to hunt down copies, but it's one of the PS2 ones that's super rare now, so it's like $60 or $70. Yeah.
Look at him actually able to buy old games. I couldn't buy Sonic 06 if I wanted, and I do. But like, legitimately, there is no way for me to actually buy a copy of Sonic 06 without importing it. So,
You.
Just come to America. We got plenty of copies of it laying around. Man.
like Sonic 06 is one of those games where I'm like, you can tell that it's shit, and I'm just really interested in seeing how shit it is. I want to experience the jank.
All I had to see was the clip from Game Grumps of Knuckles getting stuck in like the roof, floating in air.
I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if that's worse than the Rise of Lyric flying glitch with Knuckles.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
No.
So that was also a thing that the Game Grumps showed off, because I remember, because that was one of the last series I watched from them. But there used to be this glitch. I don't know if they patched it or not in Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric on the Wii U, where if you did a double jump with Knuckles and then did his air attack, where he does like basically a spinning bird kick, but with his hands.
So you mean a lariat? A double lariat?
No, Rising Taku. He does a Rising Taku.
Oh, Rising Taku. Okay.
Yeah. So that if you do the Rising Taku after the double jump and then stop like I don't know how many frames after the jump, but it was a very big buffer. So if you pause the game and then unpause it, you can then jump again and do the Rising Taku again and then fly like that. And I remember the Game Grumps in their playthrough of that game, they skipped multiple areas of the game doing that, because it was easier and more fun than the game.
Ha! Oh man, I always remember what was that game Beat Takeshi made for the NES, the Famicom?
Takeshi's Challenge.
Right. Do you ever remember seeing how people beat the end game in that?
No, I just remember that you have to cry into the microphone to reveal the map.
So the game very suddenly ends on like kind of a shitty Castlevania or a shitty Metroid where you have to go through a cave finding treasures and so on. And it's really hard, and that game has no checkpoint system, so if you die, you go all the way fucking back, right?
Yeah.
But someone figured out if you pause and unpause, it returns all the enemies to their spawns.
Nice.
So you just keep walking through, repeatedly pausing and unpausing to remove enemies. They come so close to you, and then you just pause and unpause, and they have all their progress reverted. I have to imagine that feels pretty good after dealing with that game.
Yeah, and every time you pause, you say, "Oh, what's the word? Bloody hell, I'm forgetting the name of it."
What, King Crimson?
Yes, King Crimson. No, the Epitaph. Epitaph was the part of King Crimson that showed the future.
Ah, okay. Alright, Pink, you do anything else?
I don't think so.
Alright, Addy.
I've done nothing.
Okay.
Like, legitimately. I have been, like, I don't know what's going on with me, but mental issues keep arising, and I just have no freaking drive to actually play video games at all right now, so
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and this is happening with everything. So, like for example, at the start of October, like for the past I don't know like 5 years, I've kept my subscriptions around 100 people because I don't know that's a number that I was satisfied with or something. Uh, Around the start of this year, that went down to 60, and around the start of October, it was still 60, and by the end, it was 20. But really, the 5 of those 20 is like corporate channels that advertise, or Pink's channel, or the group channel. So really, right now I'm subscribed to 15 people.
Why is that?
I just lost interest in a lot of the people I used to watch. Like either I felt like their personality changed or my personality changed. It depends on the person, but like yeah, I just don't find enjoyment in the things that I used to usually, which is very fun. And I don't know what I could do with myself to do something. So basically, most of my days are just watching YouTube videos. What amount I can find that actually interests me, and just freaking trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I was about to pose a question of maybe it's time you look into something entirely new.
Yeah, I'm trying, but the thing is, like, most of the things that would interest me that aren't stuff that I or was already doing, or things that are either like financially or just flat out impossible. So, like I have a small interest in making music. I might have some talent in it. I have no freaking financial coverage to actually like buy instruments and start learning anything. So that's that's really not in the question. I have a freaking interest in like making furniture and stuff like that, but or like doing blacksmithing and shit like that. But I can't do that stuff because well, equipment and materials that are expensive for one, and for two, because of the type of epilepsy I have. If I stress myself too much, my freaking body gets a blue screen and I might die. So,
Oh,
and yeah, so anything that's mentally or physically draining, I need to keep a lookout for. It's also the reason I can't like take drugs and drink alcohol too much, because anything that freaking messes with my brain, including medication, has a chance to kill me. So, very fun.
I'm about to pose a stupid question.
Yeah.
Is MIDI decent for just dicking around making songs?
Well, it could be, but I have no clue how to access the default Windows MIDI sounds and like um I freaking Fruity Loops. I would need to download Fruity Loops, and I don't know about that because being able to edit compositions would be quite useful, and that's not a thing that I can do with the free version.
Huh,
So
okay.
so basically like I can maybe freaking like do a beat under like do the beat by beatboxing or something, because I do that sometimes. I don't do it on recordings because that would be weird, but it's a tick. Like how I said that I usually fidget around during recordings as well and stuff like that because I have to keep myself occupied for some reason at all times. And beatboxing is just a thing that I do to do that.
Ah.
But yeah, so like I can do that stuff, but it's not something that I would actually like want to send to people. Things that come from that, because beatboxing, as good as some people can be, I'm not. So and mouth sounds that aren't really appealing to listen to.
Now you gotta practice to get good.
Yeah, true. Uh, I've also done some soul searching because I've noticed that whenever there's the option I usually go with animal people. So I was like, wait, am I a furry?
Not all furries are sexual.
Yeah, not all of them are sexual, which is why I actually looked into it. And the the thing that I reached was I don't freaking know. The part of the furry fandom I looked into says that like you know you need a fursona, and that's basically all you need to be a furry. Like fursona and like anthro animals. I have half of that, and I don't know if I really want a fursona.
Yeah, that's always the problem. Is some people are like, well, just make this the entire core of your identity, every fucking part of it, and it's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What if I just want to dip my toes in?
Yeah. uh, but yeah, like because you know the I think that made me actually question all this is that like sometimes when I thought about this stuff, like you know my mind does wander, and I just catch myself going, oh, you know, it might be fun to like just dress up like a dog. What? I don't get myself sometimes. It's hard.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Uh.
I
Like
mean, if
yeah.
there's nothing morally wrong with it, like I don't raise issues with this kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is like to me, with like I think the reason why I gravitate towards stuff like this is because I'm basically self-loading.
Oh, I was just gonna say wolves are cool, but okay.
I mean, yeah, wolves are cool. That's other part, yes, but like you know, because a lot of like whenever the thing of like you know why do furries actually dress up like animal people? Usually, people are either well some sort of batshit insane, or they're just people who don't really like themselves, and they just find it easier to do a different role when they dress up as someone else as well.
I wonder how much that part of that it is, you know?
Yeah,
Because I think people are prone to very Freudian assumptions on psychology, you know?
yeah,
It's something I've noticed. One of the college classes I'm going through right now is that they kind of imprint this idea of feminine action and masculine action onto every single little thing, and saying either this action is masculine or this action is feminine. And I read it, I'm like, I don't think even Freud would have gone this far.
yeah. And I mean, isn't that the thing we're fighting against right now? Like, aren't people pissed about this thing exactly?
Oh boy, there's a lot of. I just the other day was writing a bit about a paper. They had me watch of all things, a fucking movie adaptation of The Wizard of Oz, but instead of The Wizard of Oz, it's the Australian outback, and it's like the LGBT community and the punk community, right? So
Yeah.
you already know we're kind of going a bit out there, right? And like one of the questions was, how feminist do you think this movie is? And this movie's version of Dorothy is unafraid to use her sexuality, right?
Yeah.
And I in the paper had to explicitly say Dorothy is unafraid to use her sexuality. Some schools of feminism think this is very feminist. Some schools of feminism think this is misogynist. This is a bigger matter of debate than I am going to devote time to in this paper.
I mean, fair. But how do the punks fit into the Wizard of Oz?
Well, there is kind of a like the thing you gotta understand. There's a lot of punk subcultures, right? Because
True.
there's Nazi skinheads, but there's also gay punks and there's bikers and so on, right?
Yeah.
And like a lot of gay guys who would be into leather are probably also into punk stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Judas Priest is the big one. Even though Rob Halford did later on just straight up say, oh yeah, the leather thing with Judas Priest was just an excuse for me to go to sex shops. Oh, man. Shit, what was I going to say? I don't know, man. I think self-discovery is a good thing. I think it's good to think on yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you're going through a period of years also where you're going to really start forming your identity more concretely. And I'm saying this as someone who is, like, near the end of that phase. Like, Pink, would you agree with me that, like, the years of 18 through, like, 22 seem to be years where you are really concretely forming your identity? The teenage years of mixed up, confused identity are pretty well coming to an end, and you're starting to figure out who you really are.
Yeah, once you're allowed to get drunk, it's all over.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I figured out I am an alcoholic.
Yeah. I figured out that I'm going to kill myself by drinking too much alcohol.
Oh, no!
I figured out my liver is damaged.
Yeah.
It grows back, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's what the doctors all said, right?
I got 3 of them, right?
I've got livers to spare. Anyone want to borrow one for the weekend?
I'm gonna need you to bring them back, though.
I might need them in case of emergency.
You know.
I'm imagining a guy with like freaking like 20 livers.
I'm going on a hard drinking weekend this weekend. I'm gonna need at least 5. Oh shit! It's like Pink. Do you remember the ultimate version of the Thinker?
No, I don't.
She killed people, opened up their skulls, removed their brains, and then surgically added their brains to hers.
Aha, it's like Siler.
So she had like a giant head. And of course she was like, Reed Richards, I'm smarter than you, because she's the Thinker still, right? Across universes, the Thinker is the Thinker.
Right.
Yeah.
Boy, that was kind of a lazy supervillain name, wasn't it?
Yep. I mean, I was just imagining like the freaking the statue, but like it's a robot.
Oh no!
Ultimate Tinker.
It's on wheels, but maintaining the same pose.
It's also the size of a house. It's a mecha.
A mecha with no opposable limbs.
Yes.
Oh, Christ. Alright, Eddie,
Yes.
So you've been going on a journey of self-introspection.
Oh yeah, basically.
Alright. I ain't done nothing this week either, but there was no introspection this time. 'Cause I already make myself hard. What did I did do something last week and I didn't get to talk about it. I watched Blade for the first time.
Oh.
Pretty much the first Marvel movie, because we're not going to count Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So, it was a bit of an interesting time capsule in some ways. Blade fits very interestingly into the 90s anti-hero paradigm. Because he does have that 90s anti-hero thing, of course. He's all dressed up in black leather, and he's quiet, and he's mean, and he tries to shove people off him, and he uses guns and swords and whatever. But at the same time, there is very distinctly a scene where Blade lets a vampire get away to save a kid. And I was just watching that scene and thinking, you know, if Rob Liefeld wrote this movie, Blade would have let that kid fucking die. So, Blade, against all odds, is an actual hero, despite coming from a generation of quote-unquote heroes.
Right.
Some of the special effects were fantastic for their time. The effect of the vampires burning up into ash immediately upon being killed looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the special effects looked god-awful.
Yep.
The final fight with Deacon Frost, when when his blood reaches out and catches his upper half, looks so bad. And, like, if the special effects were good, that would be a really cool moment. But, like, my understanding is that effect looked bad even at the time. It's sad, you know? And the decision to have Deacon Frost be a, like, twink was an interesting one. I don't know. Initially, I was very much against it. Then as we got into the beginning of the third act, I was like, oh, you know what? It's actually kind of working for me. And then it goes into the final boss fight, and I'm like, no, it doesn't work. Donal Logue is also there as the other evil vampire, the pathetic one. And I gotta say, he is by far the most pathetic movie villain I've ever seen. Because usually they'll have a pathetic joke villain, and near the end the hero kills them, but they still, get the camera shot and everything to show, oh my god, they killed joke villain, right?
Right.
It is the most casual in this movie. As the final fight starts, Blade immediately kills Donal Logue. With a single slash from the sword, the camera does not even highlight it. Blade just moves on to the next pack of vampires seamlessly. Like, it is just like, he gets killed in the same way any generic minion would. You know? And I find that really funny, because usually the joke villain at least gets more than that. You know? Oh, man.
I would comment more on these movies because I like them, but like I haven't watched any of the 3 Blade movies in the past 15 years.
Ooh.
So
I've not seen the beginning of Blade, but I've seen middle parts and the end. I have not seen the other 2 films either.
Ooh, the beginning of Blade is really, really strong. It starts off in a vampire nightclub. And they have this vampire EDM music playing in the background. Of course.
That's where the Techno Viking song comes from.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, it's my. Okay, that's another story for another time. So during the party, it being a vampire party, they have the fire sprinklers start raining blood on the vampires partying, and all the vampires start having a blood orgy and all this and that, because they're modern day vampires, of course. And then Blade just appears, and it's like, oh shit, and the entire party stops, and oh, here we go. And it was pretty well not as long-winded, but it was pretty well the Kingsman church fight scene. Before the Kingsman church fight scene was the Kingsman church fight scene. And then it's pretty well 5 minutes straight of Blade killing vampires and nothing else. So it was really strong.
Very nice.
It also
I'll definitely have to rewatch that someday and get around to actually watching the other 2.
Ha! Well, the third one has Ryan Reynolds. That's gotta be enough for you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, baby.
I think the second one is the worst one out of the 3 from what I remember, and then the third one has Triple H, I think. Was it the second one?
I think the second one has Ron Perlman and Triple H as the villains.
Ah. So yeah, the second one is probably the worst one from what I remember.
Shut up, you love the Vampire Pomeranian. I haven't watched that movie, but I know that the core appeal is Triple H is a vampire. He has a Pomeranian. The Pomeranian is also a vampire.
Yes.
I don't remember the dog, but I do remember Triple H. I remember Triple H's nose distinctively.
Yeah. He didn't have the beard yet, so it was extra pronounced. This might be going too far, but it would have been funny if they put fangs for his nose as well. Oh god, that's an invert. Have any of you guys ever seen Silence of the Lambs?
No. I've not.
There's a very famous scene where Hannibal Lecter kills someone by biting off their nose. If he tried that on Triple H vampire form, then oh boy. Now the nose bites you, fool.
I'm imagining Triple H going into I'm imagining Triple H going into vampire form is like the fangs slide out from his nostrils with the swing sound of the freaking sword coming out of the sheet.
Or the Wolverine snick noise.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Triple H's nose is so big it requires its own separate blood source. Oh, Christ. Blade 1 is aged pretty well in most regards. Honestly speaking. The plot is very dumb, but you're not here for the plot.
Of course not.
Like, Wesley Snipes, it is worth mentioning frequently. Wesley Snipes got brought on for the job because he's an actual honest-to-God martial artist. And boy, does it show, because these are some, like, honest, like, high-quality Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee quality fight scenes.
Yeah, that's why I liked them.
They are excellent. It's a lot of Blade getting in kung fu fights with vampires, and it's fucking rad.
Yeah, that's a part that I'm sad about, because they I don't remember if that's still a thing that's going to happen, but if I remember correctly, you did tell me that Marvel is going to make a new Blade movie without Wesley Snipes, and like I get it that he's old and it would be harder for him to fit the role now, but
And Blade 3 was a disaster because he was being a big bitch about it.
yeah, that too. But like I still wish that we could get the freaking Hong Kong cinema fight scenes somehow.
We'll have to see, because Shang-Chi is being deliberately shot in the way of an old martial arts film.
True.
So that might indicate a new direction for Marvel fight scenes.
I mean, hey, like honestly, I would probably watch more Marvel movies if they brought on Jackie Chan as a freaking fight choreographer.
Oh, that would be rad, yeah. I mean,
Like,
hey, Marvel movies are already big in China.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
imagine like Spider-Man. I've got to assume already has like pretty freaking like athletic fight scenes. Imagine what he could do if he were also using freaking chairs in the middle.
You mean Spider-Man PS4?
Yes, but Spider-Man PS4, but with more like freaking with more standing on the chair and hitting people with the legs somehow.
Now you're just asking Spider-Man to have Yakuza Heat moves. Come on.
Yes, I am asking Spider-Man to have Yakuza Heat moves. Yakuza Heat moves are a thing that are very noticeably missing from movies.
Ha! Alright. What else was I going to say? Yeah, the plot's a bit dumb. There is one part that cracks me up. So Blade has his little, he has his Alfred, right? Whistler?
Yeah.
Who's a grumpy old ex-vampire hunter who makes all this stuff for him.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
have
if...
Fallout in 2, I think.
Yeah. I don't remember if either of you guys remember this. In Blade 1, he gets infected with vampirism and commits suicide.
Yes, I remember that one because my dad pointed it out when we were watching it when I was like freaking 6.
Ha! And then...
Like my dad is not the most critical movie watcher, but even he was like, he killed himself in the last movie. How is he back for this one to have an argument with Blade?
Not only is he back, they just went and said, oh, he didn't kill himself. He just got abducted by Czech vampires. And it's like, what? Like, fucking, what?
I don't see how.
Like, we hear him shoot himself. Did he miss? And then the Czech vampires just showed up?
No, I know what happened. So, he did the one-man version of the New Vegas intro. the game was rigged from the start.
He bennied himself?
Yes.
Oh, oh, Christ. Blade 1 is also very funny because it sets up a not love interest for Blade. Like, it's very weird because it starts off with Blade saved this woman because she reminds him of his mother. And then you're like, oh, but this lady's obviously going to be the love interest, so that's weird and creepy. But they never actually become love interests. But near the end of the movie, Blade is starving and about to die, so she forces Blade to drink from her to live. But the blood drinking scene could not have more obviously been meant to be a pseudo-sex scene. So we've circled back around to being creepy again. So that was fucking weird. And hey, guess what? This is a 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s era adventure film. So that love interest will just disappear abruptly in the next movie and go unmentioned.
Oh, yeah.
It's like how James Bond and Indiana Jones can never keep a fucking love interest for more than a single movie, you know?
Yeah.
Shit. Like, at least with Indiana Jones, there's the explanation for the third movie of, like, oh, she was a Nazi who killed herself. Whoops. Okay, that's why she's not in the other ones. Rest in peace to Sean Connery. That's still one of my favorite movie dialogue lines, is, how did you know she was a Nazi? She talks in her sleep. And then Indy just looks at her like, what? Or no, Indy looks at his dad like, dude! I was going to... And Sean Connery, being Sean Connery, is just like, well, son, if you don't hit that, I will. Like, no matter what movie Sean Connery's in, he just can't be stopped. Like, what is this? Oh, man. Alright, I don't think I did anything else this week. But you know what? I want to bring up one last thing to talk about, because, like, the sheer gall of it amazes me. Have you guys heard the recent news story about PT?
Yes.
What is that?
The Silent Hill demo that Hideo Kojima made before Konami fired him.
PT is
I
a
have not
portable
heard about
toilet.
that. Well, I've heard about PT, but I've not heard about what's going on with it recently.
So, it was backwards compatible on PS5. Critics, like reviewers who got early copies of the PS5, played PT on the PS5, and then just in like the last day or two, a corporation who insisted on remaining anonymous.
Konami hell.
A corporation who insisted on remaining anonymous.
The corporation located under the Fall Guys You Lose screen.
Forced Sony to patch PT to make it not backwards compatible on PS5.
Ah, yes. It's only
But
logical.
Speaking of things like this, sorry for freaking changing topic nearly instantly, but it reminded me. So did y'all hear about how a number of like even bigger titles like Call of Duty that and Assassin's Creed will be compatible but not completely playable on PS5, which no one knows what the hell that means.
Yes, I did hear that the Digital Foundries guys said that they didn't say that Assassin's Creed games would not be fully playable, but they did point out that for some reason the Assassin's Creed games, despite fitting easily well beneath the technical limitations of the PS5, get really odd frame rates on the PS5.
Not only that, but specifically the Chronicles games and Syndicate just don't run, from what I gather.
I did not hear that at all.
Yeah, I heard about it on the Assassin's Creed Reddit. They posted about it when we got news about it at all. And apparently, like some higher tier games like that, or like some AAA releases from the past, like Syndicate, for whatever reason, like they're technically playable, they are technically bootable, so you can boot the game up. It just probably will crash nearly immediately. So
that's weird.
Yeah.
What I heard was that what I saw was actually Digital Foundry actually had footage of Unity running on the PS5 of all Assassin's Creed games to pick. And it was footage of, like, it keeps around 57 frames on most of the, like, it's perfect 60 frames in just running around Paris. It's 57 frames on close-ups for some reason. Getting close to faces causes the PS5 to go, like, what? And it dropped to, like, 20 frames per second in the flashback to the Templars getting run down.
I mean, that's better than the 12 frames you get in normal gameplay on the current gen consoles. So
that's true. I do remember getting stupidly low frame counts for that mission in PS4.
Not even that mission, just the whole game.
Oh,
like the whole game, from my experience, runs between 12 or 15 and 30. 30 is generous. 30 is when you're on the rooftops and there's like a guard being rendered right now.
Well, you gotta be careful. That guard may be too much for the system to handle.
Yeah.
But what I heard was, like, it's pretty much all games that are built off that same engine, which is the curiosity.
So and will next. But It doesn't really make sense though, because Assassin's Creed is still using Gainesville Next as far as I know.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh, it's gonna be something interesting to hear about in the coming days. All right.
Oh, also, and speaking of more PS5 stuff, apparently the actual you know how they said that they would have like 750 gigs of SSD or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually more like 500 gigs.
Which is more space than you get on the PS4.
No, it isn't.
The PS4 only like 400 gigs are actually usable. 600 are taken up by the operating system.
Oh yeah. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah. So they actually somehow made the operating system smaller on PS5 than PS4, which I was confused by, but okay. I'm trying to think of other big news that was related to the PS5. Well, they are saying that they're going to have day one available digital, like online copies that you can order online. So I guess I'm gonna be fucking sitting up at midnight November 11th. That'll be fun. But they are like so behind on production that they aren't even going to have in-store copies of the PS5.
Yeah. I heard about that. And just next gen overall, Xbox managed to secure. You know how Xbox managed to secure the rights to release the next gen versions of Yakuza 7, on Xbox first.
Yes.
Yeah. Turns out, not in Japan. It's just straight up not coming out in Japan on Xbox.
What?
Yeah.
The franchise, the franchise that is a massive blockbuster in Japan, will be coming out in America first.
Well, so the thing is, Yakuza 7 has been out on PS4, but like for nearly a year.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then Xbox got the rights for the next gen upgraded releases. For that version to be released on the Xbox first, and then you'll have to wait like a year or two, I don't know, for the PS5 version. But like that's getting released on the actual release date in America and maybe in Europe, and not in Japan for some reason.
Because Japan hates the Xbox.
I mean, yeah, but that's still like a lot of money lost for a big title that's coming out on their console first. Well, on a version of a big title that's coming out on their console first.
What was Xbox's plan with fucking buying the rights for a remaster?
I don't know.
Like, that doesn't seem like it'd be too high dollar. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who knows?
That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, technically speaking, in the West, it isn't a remaster because they would have taken this much time to translate the games anyway, but like still.
Alright. Well, I think we can call that a podcast. I'm not just saying that because I need to go to the bathroom urgently. Addy, say bye.
Bye.